Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It is Wednesday, February 7th. It's already a full week into the month of February. I don't know what happened with this last week. It was just January the last time I looked. So hope everybody's doing great. We've got lots of gals on the YouTube channel watching. I think I've missed a couple already, but we've got Victoria, we've got Linda, we've got Ruby, Ellen, Arlene, Shirley, Kathy, and Bobby Ann, I think. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. And here come our Facebook friends. We've got someone from Oregon. We've got Diane in Naples, Florida. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad to see you. Last week when we were together, it was Wednesday, January 31st, end of January. And I mentioned that we were going to create a calendar spread in my personal This Life album. So that's what we're going to be doing today. But like I said, I don't know where that first week of February went. There's Judy from Boston. We've got Newbury, New Hampshire. We've got Carmel in Brisbane. Tara from South St. Paul, Minnesota. Very close to home office there. Maureen in Maryland. There's Karen from Winnipeg. Hello, fellow Canuck. Sue from Indiana. We've got someone from Illinois. Hello, everybody. Texas, South Carolina, Virginia. Welcome. Glad to see everybody. That's great. Again, lots of familiar names and places popping up on screen there. So welcome. Okay, so I mentioned that we're going to be working in my album today. I had talked about this at the very beginning of January when the This Life collection was launched. So we talked about how I am not a chronological scrapbooker. I'm kind of an all over the map gal, and then I work on the pages that I want to work on, and then I put them into album categories later on. And that's one of my goals, is to get a lot of my album pages that are still fluttering around this scrap room into albums and safely stowed away. So for me, this is a bit of a challenge this year. It's a bit of an experiment. I'm taking you along for the ride. And now that the month of January is over, we're going to be actually working in my album. So I've learned a few things already in the month. I've thought a lot about this album, and I want to review the systems or the things that I already put in place, some of which I showed you early in the month of January. But I've got a couple other things that I want to share with you as to how it's going to work for me. Then we'll look at my album itself, my January spread. We'll put it together, and I got some tips and tricks and ideas along the way. Okay, so hopefully that sounds good. And we're going to do this kind of month in review at the beginning of each month for the previous month. So first week in February here, I'm going to be working on my January page. Into early March, depending on how the schedules and launches work, we'll take one of the Fast and Funs in early March to work on my February page. So I'm always going to kind of be working a month behind. The nice thing about that is it gives you time to get ready for working on your monthly pages. And if you're kind of working along with me, we're going to have an entire album done by the end of the year. So I did have a question from somebody saying, well, aren't you going to get bored just working in this album? And truthfully, no, because I've been thinking about it. I've been prepping for it, but I haven't spent basically any time on it yet. So I'm still doing all of my other album projects that I want to work on. I'm still, creating things for you guys. I'm still doing the pages that I want to do. Scrapping the photos that I want to do, and playing with lots of products. So I haven't spent any time on this other than getting ready to show you what I'm working with today. So I think this is really achievable, and it is not too late. If you haven't started your 2024 album yet, you can join us. You can still get all of the This Life products that I'm going to be working with today. And the great thing is, because it's such a core collection, we actually extended the Buy It All bundle pricing, the 10% discount on the bundle pricing until February 23rd. So you still have a couple weeks to pick it up at the discount buy it all bundle price. So no excuses if you want to scrap along and keep up with your 2024 while still doing lots of other fun stuff along the way throughout the year. This is how we're going to do it. Okay, so let me switch you over here. And let me review the couple of systems that I already kind of shared, just really quickly so that everybody's kind of on the same page. So this is the album that I'm going to be using for my 2024. This is the This Life Blue Agate album, 12 by 12 album. And basically what I did, I'm just going to open up kind of randomly here, is for each month, I put in a calendar page, a blank calendar page. I put in the name of the month. Those are from the calendar kit bundle. And then I put in what I, just kind of what I thought might be the color for the month. So here is the green border that I'm going to use up here, and here's green. I kind of thought that would work for March. You can see that I use top loading pages, and I've got an extra one, a blank one, in the middle here. Because what I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to do is have the March calendar page, a facing page that will have a few of March photos. And then when I open this next page, that's the space I have for another fun spread. Okay, so that's how I've set up my album. And again, these are all just tucked into the pockets. I can move these at any time. I'm not, I don't need to keep this as is. I can move this at any time. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning there, and I'll just show you what I've got in here so far. You'll remember that we did the fun burst layout, and I was using that as my title page. And I will try to go back and link that Fast and Fun episode where we made the burst page in the comments or in the description. So then I'm still not 100% sure about this photo. So I've only adhered it with repositionable adhesive, because technically this photo was taken, around Christmas time last year. So if in the next short while I get a decent family photo, I will put that, I'll switch it out and put that photo on there. But anyways, basically it's just McAllister Family 2024. A couple of questions I actually had about my name. I kept my maiden name. All my my career work and my degrees and stuff were all in my maiden name. But my husband's name, my boy's name is McAllister. So I go by Mrs. McAllister in a lot of my day-to-day life, but I'm Noreen Smith, online, and of course, to friends and everything. So just a note about who the McAllisters are. So that's my title page. And then I've basically got my January spread. Now, so I've got my purple. I didn't know if that would work. I think it is going to work. And then throughout the month, basically, I've just been adding some of the highlights. It really wasn't a very exciting month, to tell you the truth. We had a lot of cold weather. We had a lot of, kind of downtime. We went out a few times. Had some appointments, and then there was a couple of fun things that happened near the end of the month. So all I did was add my, I moved them forward now, but I just added my number stickers for the first month to my calendar page. They fit perfectly in these little squares. And then I just put the rest into February. I can do that when I have a moment, when I start updating my February calendar. And then just jotted down some of the events. Okay. Now, as I said, it was a pretty slow month. So what I actually did is I actually took out that pocket page that I had put in between these two pages, because all I'm really going to do this month is have a fun border, add some detail to the calendar, and then I'm going to add about 4 photos onto this facing page. So that's what we're going to do in a few minutes together. So I just took out that in between pocket page, and you can see that this is the back of the next calendar paper, and I'm just going to scrapbook right onto the back of that page, and then I'm going to use that for February's. And then again, I can switch out this one later if the pink doesn't work. I kind of think it will, because there might be some Valentines and stuff like that. So that's where I'm at with my album system. Okay. Now the other thing, the other system that I mentioned to you was my organization system, how I'm keeping everything together. So this is my This Life 2024 album project. I have it in one of our fun new Rainbow Dots pods. They have sold out again, but we have reordered, so they will be coming again. You can use any of the pods, of course, but I just love these fun rainbow dots, and I feel like it just goes with the fun colors of This Life so well. So inside this is where I keep my actual album. So when it's on my shelf, just looks like this. I've got my album in there, so I can pull it out to work. I have a power project folder with my supplies. We'll go through that in a minute. I keep the page protectors. I've got a rainbow cardstock sampler in there if I need it. And I also have, if you remember, I purchased the Fast to Fab album. So it came preloaded with these pages. So I might be using some of these pages a little bit later. And then I also have the decorative ideas folder, or flyer, sorry. And so again, I want to remind you, go to the website for your market, go to the This Life Buy It All bundle, and then scroll down to the description, and there'll be a link for you to download this. And I kept this along with some other papers there because I wanted to be able to quickly reference some ideas for decorative titles and fun little clusters using the products. So that's what I've got in my box here. With my Power Project folder, I don't always use a Power Project folder for my collections, but for This Life, I knew there was a lot of different components, so it worked beautifully. I've got my mats ready. I've got my my monthly numbers, and I've those are the embellishment numbers, the die cut ones, and I've got all my die cut words and the fun little enamels. I've got some scrap pieces. Again, when we created the burst title page, I cut up another piece of paper. So I've got all those scraps in there. And then on the back side, I have the This Life alphabet. I have the This Life number stickers, and I have the This Life regular stickers. And just a reminder, these are a little bit different than other collections. You see that there's a bunch of icons, and they're sort of separated into little rows with the idea that each little row can create a fun cluster. So that's why you definitely want that decorative ideas sheet. Okay, so that's pretty much the same. The only difference is that I've included some Power Simple pockets on the inside. And I've got three. I've got my designer This Life paper. I've got my tonal or tone on tone This Life paper. And I also pulled in a third simple pocket for my page kits. So you remember that we've already kind of gone through and created the Simple Life page kits, our base pages, but I still have yet to put any photos on them. So once I create the base pages, this was number 1 and this is number 2. Again, I think I'm going to be able to use this month. But here's the base pages all put together, and I'm going to be able to add these into my album really, really easily. So I did have them stored in my album, but this is a little bit easier way to see all of the different page kits that I'll be able to accumulate. So I'm loving this system. I'm loving having the Simple Power pockets to keep the various types of papers together. And then of course it all slips beautifully into my Power Project folder. So that's my organizational system. So I've talked about both of those things. Now, there's a couple of things that I mentioned I've learned throughout this month. And the first one has to do with journaling. So I use my regular calendar, my kind of day-to-day paper calendar, to kind of, see what I need to transfer. I also use my phone calendar, but I'm not a big daily journaler. Now, our CEO, Allison Dutton, she has, extolled the virtues of daily journaling to me. And I believe she has either a 2-year or a 5-year journal. And I would love to be, to grow up to be like Allison and journal every day. But that's just not what I've been used to doing. So I had to come up with some other ways to kind of keep all of my thoughts and ideas and notes about the month connected. And I just want to share, I'm not saying this is the best way, but I want to share what I've done. And I've really kind of leaned into this app on my phone. I have an iPhone. So this is an Apple iOS app called Journal, and it's the free journaling app that comes with your phone if you have a fairly recent phone and it's been updated to iOS 17.2. So you'll want to look for that little kind of almost looks like a little book/butterfly. And I'm finding it to be really great because if you can see in that second picture, there's a picture of my son Sam and then another picture beside it and a map. I can actually keep photos, audio recordings, videos, location maps, podcasts, anything like that. I can connect into that journal application. And then then you can see that I've written down, that was an entry, I think, from January 20th or 19th, something like that. So I've been able to write the information and keep it all together. So that's really helped me when it comes to actually printing my photos. So that might be something that you want to, I'm just going to bring you back to me here for a second. That might be something that you might want to investigate. If you're having trouble kind of, keeping all of your calendar items or dates, that kind of thing together, investigate maybe if there's a free journal app that you might like. I like that one because it has some privacy settings. It will actually give me personalized prompts. It'll actually look in my photos if you give it permission to and say, oh, I see you took, several photos on Thursday, February 1st. Would you like to journal about them? So it will also give you guided prompts. It'll give you some kind of, prompt to get you thinking. So there's a lot of advantages to that. And again, for a non-journaler, it has worked out really, really well. So that's one of the ways or one of the additional systems that I've been able to put in using my calendar on my phone and then also this journaling app. So let's go back to my table here and I'll talk about the final system that I've been putting together, and that is for photo organization. Now, I'm a little unsure still. I set up one of my fantastic Power Sort photo boxes for This Life photos. And if you're not familiar with the Power Sort box, let me just kind of give you a little tour of it. Our product director, Sherry Reland, had a great quote when I was talking to her about the Power Sort. She basically said, of course, we want to encourage people to, sort and organize their photos and then get them out of this box and into albums. But if you need a shoebox to store your photos, this should be your shoebox. So it is a black polypropylene box. It actually comes packed flat and you assemble it. So you might have to kind of do a little bit of bending and creasing to get it to, stay nice and open and not fold back in and of itself. But it also comes with 6 of these great little compartments and 6 dividers. So what I set up is basically the year, and you can see that I've gone ahead and labeled some of my dividers. I figured there's 6 boxes, so I could put, 2 months in each box. What I have what I found is that basically I haven't printed any photos over the course of the month. And I've just gone ahead and decided on the photos that I want to print, and I've just printed them all right off my phone uh, in order to do my pages. So I don't know how much I'm going to be using this the Power Sort box for this project. But I wanted to show it to you because there are so many projects that I do rely on the Power Sort boxes for them. If you have an album project like a heritage project, a baby album, a school album, this is the perfect way to kind of sort and organize all of your photos. I absolutely love it for that. I also do store some of my family heritage, photos that I haven't had a chance to put into albums. I do store them long term in this. So it is a good long-term storage solution for photos that you're unsure what you're going to do with. Again, because it's black, it decreases the amount of light that gets onto your photos. And because it's the polypropylene, you'll never have to worry about the materials of this box affecting your photos. So it is the best. Now, if you're a customer, you might want to talk with your advisor because many advisors create sip and sort events. And can you think of a better way to spend an evening than setting up your Power Sort box, having a beverage of your choice, and sitting, getting together with your girlfriends, sitting around and sorting your photos? It can maybe be a bit of a tedious job, but if you're there with your friends, man, oh man, that is just the most fun you can have. So I love my Power Sort boxes. Oh, I wanted to show you as well that they do come with a great little insert. It tells you a little bit about it, and it does give you the instructions for putting it together. Okay, so I love them. But man, oh man, I wish it was a little bit prettier. It's very, very black. Well, I'm really excited because da 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 da, we have the new Rainbow Dots Power Sort. I'm so excited to be able to have a fun Rainbow Dots Power Sort box. My lid's open there. That's going to match my Rainbow Dots pods. So now I can keep all of my This Life photos and products all together in my Rainbow Dots. And I love them. I absolutely love them. So if you've been waiting to get a Power Sort, now is the time to do that. These are actually going to go on sale tomorrow at noon. I'm very, very excited that I was the one that got to tell you all about them. And advisors out there, I want you to make sure, wait until the end of the video today, but I want to make sure that you go into your inbox because you're going to get all the details about this. Okay, so introducing the new Rainbow Dots Power Sort box. Now I have one other thing to mention about the Power Sort. I love that we've got these little dividers and these little compartments. But sometimes I would like to take these with me. Maybe I'm working on some pages. I've sorted all my photos. Now I want to take them with me. I don't want my photos, falling out. So I'm doubly excited because we have brought back the Power Sort compartment covers. So these are great little covers. You can see that they have space for a label up top. And you put them together and they have these great elastic bands here. And they just slide over your compartment. And then you can put the elastics down underneath. And now about 250 photos will be safe inside my little compartment. They're not going to fall out, and I can tuck this into, right into my pod insert and take everything I need with me to an event, a crop, a friend's house, wherever I'm going. So I'm so thrilled that we were able to bring these back for you. They're going to be, again, launching tomorrow, and you're going to be able to get 2 Power Sort compartment covers in a pack. Okay, So some of you from Old Co will remember these. They are fantastic. Yeah, I'm seeing some comments. Yay, yay, the lids are back. So those will be part of our regular line again. If we do sell out of the quantities that we've ordered, we will be reordering them. Someone's saying, Ellen's saying she still has and uses hers from back in the day. I know, I love them. I'm so excited we were able to bring them back for you and introduce or reintroduce the power sort, system again to so many of our new beginner scrapbookers. And you'll want to know as well that again, for organizing and storing, this is fantastic because it will fit in your power sort box, even with the lid on. So you can have all of, these might be photos from 1972. And then the next one is, Bobby's graduation, and you can have all of your different categories of photos inside their own safe little compartment. And then you can put your pretty rainbow dots on top. So I'm loving the rainbow dots. They make me happy, and it's very much a nice brightening effect for my craft room. So yay to both of those. I'm so excited to talk about those and to hear your comments about them. All right, so I think those are the three systems that I wanted to kind of review with you before we did my actual page. Again, how I'd set up my album, how I'm storing my products, and how I'm dealing with journaling, keeping track of things, and my photos. So let's go ahead then and actually make up a page. And don't forget, like I said, if you are a customer, you want to chat with your advisor so that you can find out if they offer any sip and sort classes. I have a friend in Calgary here, and she and I would often get together and kind of go through photos. I was doing a lot of scanning of old slides and things like that, and it really made the time go by because I could, we could sit and chat and have a beverage, have a coffee, and I'd get a lot done without even really knowing it. Okay, so I've got a couple of things ready to go. I mentioned that I had already printed my photos. You can see that I've got a few very small photos, so I just want to talk about that first of all. I will often print 2 3x4 photos onto a 6x4 photo print. And then I've gone ahead and actually just punched out a couple with our square punch because I'm going to actually use some of these photos right on my little square. So you can see how the square punch really works perfectly with the calendar pages. I can punch out a photo. I can punch out a piece of paper. I can cut it in half. You've seen some great examples from our content contributors with kind of half size or diagonal triangles inside these sections. So that's a great way to add some extra photos. So I even kind of wrote on the back which days I might want to put those in. I do want to let you know that the weekday boxes fit the squares exactly, but because 1.75 times 7, it isn't an equal amount. The squares that are in the Saturday and Sunday are slightly smaller. We had to compress those just a little bit. So if you do put a square in a Saturday or Sunday box on either side, you will have to just trim that down. So I'm going to trim that at the end. So I've got a couple of little photos in there. And again, you could just see how I just went ahead and punched right from. Now, of course, it's not going to go in. Well, it would go in if I had it open. It was a screenshot of our terrible, terrible weather, and I just punched out what was happening. So that's that. I also went ahead and printed a bunch of little books. So I've got some, I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to document some of the books that I'm reading this year. And I think they're just going to kind of fit down here. Kind of in this bottom part. I'm not really going to do any, journaling about them specifically. I just want to kind of keep a record of what I'm reading. I also had a little kind of meme that I saw on Facebook about the luxuries in life are the slow mornings, the time in nature, that kind of thing. So I think I'm actually going to use that as a bit of a accent up here on my titles, on my title page. So, and then I decided on 4 photos. Again, I've mentioned this before. I was really worried that I wouldn't have a lot to actually document in the month, but because I set the intention of documenting, I was on the lookout for things to document. So there was a couple of things that I wanted to document, and then a couple of things that I just, happened to document. So I've chosen 4 photos. I like a 4x4. I've mentioned this before because you can use them as you can cut a 4x4 from a 4x6 or a 6x4. So this was a landscape selfie, a 6x4 of Sam and I. This was a 4x6 of Grayson standing out in front of the door. So I like 4x4s because I can kind of plan a layout, but I don't have to choose the photos. What I also did after I kind of, leaned into that journal app is I was able to go back and read through what I had written and kind of almost copy and paste or expand upon some of the ideas. So I was able to basically just write my journaling on a Word document. I just formatted a text box that's about 2.5 inches wide. And then I just typed and I printed it onto some white cardstock. And that's going to go right here in my album as well. So I don't have to do a lot of writing. I do have the calendar sort of captions, but I don't have to do a lot of writing. So those are the main components of my album, and of course my border here. So let's kind of zhuzh this up a little bit and see what we can do. So first of all, even though I did not use the Simple Page Kit number 1, I really loved the colors from that. So there's the kind of the purple ice, the eggplant, the blue, and the gray. So I thought I would definitely still use those colors for January. And I'm thinking that I'm going to use the purple kind of as a background here behind my photos and journaling. And then I'm going to do some borders with the banner punch from the blue. So I've got 4x4s here. So let's maybe do a 12-inch wide by 9-inch piece of the purple. So let me get that out again. I always put, my trimmer on top of my project so you guys can see it, but typically I would do it off to the side and not have it on top of my work surface. But let's go ahead, just cut a 9-inch by 12-inch strip. And I'm just going to move this. I'm going to center this on here. That's why I love working. Oops, had a little piece of something caught there. That's why I love working on the 2 13 by 13-inch cutting mats, because I can easily make sure, I don't think I tacked these down with repositionable adhesive, but I can easily make sure that I'm centering these. So that should be at about 1.5 inches down from the top. And there we go. Great. So now I can go ahead and I'm just going to tack these in place for now until I make sure they're in the right spots. There was Grayson doing some cooking, which I talked about in my journaling. So even though, my journaling is all here, I'm not going to go ahead and caption much of these. I talk about each of these photos in my journaling. Okay, yeah, so I could have moved that down just a little bit. So let me grab my multi-purpose tool and just space these out just a little bit more. So Sam and I were able to finally get out after all that crazy, minus 30s weather. to our favorite park in Calgary for several walks. That was great. Grayson did a lot of cooking. We had a lot of slow mornings, a lot of, cozy family dinners. And then the two big events for our family this month were Sam's school opened a new high school campus, and Grayson, because he's aging out of cadets, he's turning 19, he had his last evening of his beloved pipes and drums. So that was kind of a bittersweet event at the end of the month. All right, and so I'm just going to put my journaling right over top there. And now, as I mentioned, I'm going to do a couple of borders. So for those of you who saw early on in January, I talked about this banner punch, and I think this is going to be my go-to punch for this album so that I have some consistency and continuity in the designs or the embellishments that I use. So I'm going to have most of the time you'll see that. Let's see if I can get this in the frame for you. So I'm just going to put that blue tonal pattern. And let's go ahead and punch. You might not see me punch all of this on camera. I'll leave you the view at the top there. All right, so there's the punched edge, and there's all my fun little banners that I'm going to use over here. Now, I'm going to have to cut this into a strip. So again, just kind of measuring here. So I want a 1/4 inch on the other side. So if I do this at 1 1/8, I should have a nice even border here. So there's one, and the second sort of set of notches. That looks a little bit, I should have measured separately, but let's go ahead at 1 1/8. A little off, but I'm going to be tucking this kind of in behind anyways. Let's do a second one. How's our time? 4:37 my time, 5:37 Central Time. So we've got time to finish this off. And again, I'm thinking that, if I stay organized the whole year, it's only going to take me a couple of hours maybe to finish my monthly pages. So I think that's a pretty good trade-off. All right, let's get this second border cut. 1 1/8. That's a little bit better. Okay, so I've still got a nice big piece of the blue if I want to use it some more. But as I said, I think I'm just going to be kind of almost tucking it behind. I think that I want to just kind of tuck it in behind the, where's my silicone mat here. I just want to tuck it in behind that purple. So let's get some repositionable. Oh, I forgot that there's two patterns. So I've got kind of a dots and kind of a texture. Well, I've used the dots here, so I think I'll show the textured part of the paper. Oh, of course, I'm running out right when I need it. All right, let's grab another one. Pop in a new repositionable tape runner refill. Quick as can be. There we go. Oops. I obviously didn't put that lid on very good. There we go. All right, and we're back on track. So I'm just going to tuck this in behind the edge so that it's sort of equal to the top edge of my journaling. Okay, so we'll just keep tucking that underneath. Because I didn't measure my journaling ahead. I basically printed it onto a 8.5 by 11 inch piece of cardstock. It's a little bit above, but that's okay. And then I just cut it to that 2 inches. And I'm thinking that, again, I'll follow some of these same sort of ideas throughout so that I can have a real nice consistent look to my albums. All right, just sliding this under. Let me get my multi-purpose tool so I can slide that underneath. And again, just give me a little bit above there. Okay, I think that's all right. Not perfect, but that's okay. So that's going to be my right-hand page. Let's go ahead and see what we can do here for my left-hand page. I will just attach this. You could go ahead and punch right from this if you like. You could cut the border pieces into, squares or circles or other shapes. Hexagons would be fun. Use the embossed hexagons. But I think I'm going to, I did have a purple. This was one of the ones I punched when I was demonstrating how to use this. So I think I will use the purple one that's already punched. Might get some repo on my table here, but that's okay. And now I'm just going to kind of match up those edges. And I'm going to use some of my little blue pieces. What color does it? There's the same texture. So I'm just going to pop those into the space. So now I have the blue and the purple eggplant on both pages. And the purple ice, of course. So that's an easy way to just kind of, have the continuity when you're kind of coming up with these sorts of pages. I keep having to look at which side I'm adding the adhesive to. And then I'm going to adhere these other little photos, and we'll see if we need anything else. Okay, that looks good. One more. And some of this might be covered up when I add my title, my January. But that's okay because it'll all be in behind. Now I had, see now where did it go? I had that larger piece, that larger photo that I wanted to add at the top. Did I knock it off my table when I moved? I might have. So let's go ahead and add in these other. It's not underneath. We'll add in these others. I'm going to just let them kind of overlap over the edge. And that way I can just trim them off. And I talk a little bit about the books that I was reading in here as well. So just going to move this back just a little bit, just so that it's a little bit closer to the edge. Because I don't need to see the whole thing. Again, it's just kind of a little reminder. Okay, so there's my books that I read in the month. This I'm going to put on January 10th, because that's when our real bad cold snap started. So again, I'm just going to cover over there. This, my feet in front of the fireplace, my favorite place to be, I'm going to put on January 15th. We spent a lot of cozy evenings. That's the not so bad thing about that cold weather. And then Sam walking in the park, January 21st. So like I said, I'll have to go and trim this little edge off, but I'm also going to trim these off. Okay, so let's get a couple of other things on here that obviously did not take. So I'll go back and kind of strengthen these up adhesive wise. Okay, and then January. Darn it, I wish I knew where that little photo went. I'm sure I'll find it after I finish up. But that's going to be January. I'm going to put that up on some foam squares. Just 3, I think will do it. And then I've got a couple of, little extra banners that I can use. wherever I want. So if I want to just, add a little bit of a decorative element, I can do that. I also want to use my tab punch and just add a little tab up here. So I'll get my blue tone-on-tone paper back. And some of you might be wondering if the tab is the same as the tabs that I put on my simple pockets. These ones, these are actually the self-adhesive, here they are, the self-adhesive white memory tabs. I just like these for when I'm doing organizing products because I can write on them really quickly and easily. I don't have to go find scrap, and they're self-adhesive along the entire back. So when I fold them over, they really stick really well. So it's the same shape overall, but a little bit smaller. You can probably see it better here. So it's a little bit smaller because we can only go so wide on the punches, but it is the same shape. So you can use the tab punch for your organizational projects as well. Okay, so where did it go? There it is. So now I'll just add some, I think I'll do it on the dot side now. And I'm just going to add this over top of, let's see, I don't want to block out any of the journaling. There we go. So I'm just going to add this over top for a nice little extra. And then I am going to put some adhesive behind it so that it sticks down. My hair might be in the way. You might be able to see my head right now. Sorry. Okay, so I like the way that that looks. And then in terms of decoration, I might add a few little stickers. I might add a few little embellishments here. I don't know yet. I can do that at another time. So I'll pull out my stickers, but I also should pull out the little calendar stickers because there's a bunch of fun little icons on those calendar stickers as well. So I moved those into my February. So yeah, on the second page, I've got some fun little icons I could use. So I could use, some of the blue, the eggplant, or the purple ice here to just add a little bit of fun. So I might still do that, but really that's what my page is, or what my January spread is going to look like, minus the fact that I had that cute little meme that I wanted to add in up at the top here. So that's what it's going to look like. I can just take my scissors and trim off the things that I've overlapped. And you get the idea. And then I'll be done January, basically. So really, once you set up those systems, and yes, you do have to take the time to get those organized, but once you do set up those systems, your monthly spreads can come together pretty quickly. So I love that. I think this is a great way to approach it. I like doing, a long form of journaling like this so that I'm not trying to write, the whole thing and space it out. So I'm a very, I love seeing handwriting on layouts, but for something like this where I'm giving a month in review, I think I'll probably stick with the typed journaling and then write some of it onto my page. So let's actually just go ahead and punch out a couple of squares. A purple one, a blue one, and have I got some lighter purple? I might have to go into either my cardstock or my Totally Tonals to get a little bit of purple ice. But I could just take these squares that I've cut or punched, and this is what I was mentioning. So just that fun little bit of color that you can add in by, into any of your your little empty squares or empty spaces, maybe down here. So just to give it a little bit of the same color and bring some of those colors into the album itself. And then I can go in and add some of my little, fun stars. There was, that was a good day. So maybe we'll put the little star down there. My mother-in-law's birthday, so I could use the little present there. Just maybe the coffee icon or, the arrows or the hearts in some of the other spaces. Maybe I'll put the heart on the January virtual crop because that was a fun weekend. Get that off. There we go. So yeah, just having a couple of other little icons and embellishments and some other paper shapes, that really makes a difference. So that's my January spread. So that's all done. Speaking of January virtual crop, this weekend, of course, is the February virtual crop. We've got so much coming up here in the next few days, I tell you. February virtual crop starts at 5 p.m. this coming Friday, February 9th. So you'll definitely want to have that on your calendar so that you can participate in fun, the fun sketches that we'll be giving you, as well as seeing what everybody else is doing. But just a few minutes before the virtual crop starts, I'm going to be able to open the secret box number 1 with you. So 4:45 p.m. in the virtual crop Facebook group. I'm very sorry, our YouTube friends, but we only do the live unboxings and the virtual crops in the virtual crop group. So I really hope all of you who are watching on YouTube are part of our Facebook group as well, even if it's just for those few times a year when you want to see things like the live unboxing. So 4:45 p.m. you're going to join me. The secret box, it is good. It is so, so good. I have 2 of them because, I make up a sample and then of course I show you what we're going to do. But I think I'm actually going to go and buy a 3rd one. I will give you a little bit of a hint in that there is a lot of traditional decorative scrapbook products in it. And I've heard from advisors that when they have shared a little bit of information with their customers, some of their customers have bought too. So you will definitely want the secret box number 1, even if you were, not fans of whatever we did last year. Some of you I know did not love doing the paper albums, for example, in secret box number 4. Rest assured, this is all decorative product for 12 by 12 scrapbooking, so you can always use that, and you are going to want the stuff that is in it. It is so, so good. So I'm excited to show you, and then you're going to, everybody who has purchased a secret box is going to get the link to the tutorial and project booklet. So you're going to be able to make 4 double-page layouts with the supplies that are in the secret box. And you're going to get a project booklet showing you exactly how to do that. So that's great. So those are 2 things that are happening this weekend in the secret box or in the virtual crop group. Plus, we still have the Super Bowl, the big game sketch challenge happening. And you never know, there might even be other things that are happening. As a matter of fact, I guess I can share this with you. We've got a virtual crop weekend pop-up promo happening because we want to encourage you to print your photos and get them into your albums or get them into your power sorts. So with the introduction of the Rainbow Dots Power Sort box and Power Sort compartment covers, we're also giving you some free photo prints. So you're going to get $10 in free photo prints with any order, any amount that you place this weekend. And that works out to, I think, about 37 prints if you're in the US. And then with the exchange, of course, with the dollar, Canadians will get about 28 free photo prints. That's about how much $10 will get you. And of course, our friends in Australia, you'll get about 20 photo prints. So you definitely, want to take advantage of that. Get yourself organized, go through your January photos, figure out which ones you want to print Maybe you still have some printing that you have to do from Christmas and New Year's. Go through and, kind of pick out about that many photos, get them ready to upload. And then when you place your order for either the secret box, which is on sale until noon on Friday, the Passport to Adventure Buy It All bundle is still on sale until noon Friday. And of course, this Life Buy It All bundle is on sale through February 23rd. So if you're purchasing any of those things or the new Power Sort box and compartment covers, you'll be able to take advantage of those free photo prints. And then you'll have more photos to scrapbook. So it's obviously the best thing going. We want you to have those photo prints in your hands, in your Power Sort boxes, in your albums. So take advantage of that. Okay. I think that's everything. I'm just going through, making sure that I've covered everything. There's so much good stuff right now, I tell you guys. Reminder that the Rainbow Power Sort box and the compartment covers launch at noon tomorrow. So if you go on right now, you're not going to find them. Okay, so you have to be patient. You have to wait until noon tomorrow. So don't buy anything else tonight. Wait till tomorrow and then buy it all tomorrow. Your bundles, your secret box if you haven't already bought it, your Power Sort box, and get your free photo prints, okay? All right, looking at my list. Join me on Friday. I'm looking forward to seeing you again on Friday, 4:45 p.m. Let's do the secret box unboxing, opening, and then get ready to have a fantastic weekend of fun with the virtual crop group. So it's going to be a great weekend. All right. Now, next week is Valentine's Day. I'm going to get to spend Valentine's Day with you. And that's wonderful because I love all of you. And we're going to celebrate everything that has to do with love. So I want you to come back next Wednesday, 5 p.m. Central Time. And we're going to celebrate all things love with some great projects using all of our wonderful products. So have a great weekend. We'll see you at the secret box opening. And then I'll see you again next week. Enjoy your week. Bye for now, everybody.